If your browser is refusing to open a site and showing you a red triangle and the words "your connection is not private," this video is about that exact screen. And the useful question isn't how to make it go away. It's whose fault it is, because there are 3 completely different causes and they need 3 completely different answers. By the end of this, you'll be able to look at that page and know within about 10 seconds whether the problem is your computer, the website, or something sitting in between. Those 3 are: your computer's clock is wrong, the site certificate has genuinely expired or doesn't match, or something between you and the site is interfering. That's it. That's the whole list. Here's the one bit of background you need. Every secure site has a certificate, and a certificate has 2 dates on it: valid from and valid until. Your browser checks today's date against those, which means a certificate can look expired for 2 completely different reasons. Theirs really has expired, or your computer thinks it's a different year, so start with the code. It's the small gray line under the message, and it is the diagnosis. ERR CERT DATE INVALID means dates. Either their certificate expired or your clock is wrong. Those are the only 2 options. ERR CERT common name invalid means the certificate is real, but it's for a different address than the one you asked for. Same warning, completely different problem. And ERR CERT authority invalid means the certificate wasn't signed by anyone your computer trusts. That's the one that's most often caused by software on your machine or a network intercepting you. Notice that all 3 of those showed me the identical sentence at the top. Identical wording, 3 different causes. That's precisely why one-size-fits-all advice keeps failing people. Before anything else, the quickest test there is: does it happen on one site or on every site? One site, it's almost certainly theirs. Every site, it's almost certainly yours. Try a couple of big sites you know or fine. Now the part almost nobody does. There's a button on that page marked Advanced, and people ignore it because it sounds like it's for experts. It isn't. It's where Chrome explains itself. Look what it actually says here. This server could not prove that it is expired.badssl.com. Its security certificate expired 4,125 days ago. And then, your computer's clock is currently set to Tuesday, July 28, 2026. Does that look right? Read that again, because it's doing 2 jobs. It's telling you how old the certificate is, and it's telling you what your clock currently says, and it's asking you to compare them. 11 years of videos about this error, and the answer was printed on the page the whole time. In my case, the certificate expired over 11 years ago, and my clock is correct. So this one is the site's problem, and there is nothing on my computer to fix. If your clock had said 2019, that would be the opposite conclusion. So, cause 1, and the most common by far, your clock. On Windows, open Settings, go to Time and Language, then Date and Time. Turn on Set Time automatically, then press Sync Now. That pulls the real time from a time server. Check the time zone underneath while you're there, because a wrong zone alone can be enough to trip this. Then go back and refresh the page. If the clock was the problem, it's simply gone. No restart, no reinstall. And if you're wondering how a clock ends up years out, a dead motherboard battery on an older desktop, a machine that's been off for a long time, or a laptop that came back from a repair. It's more common than it sounds. Cause 2, it really is the website. Their certificate expired and nobody renewed it. You can confirm it in about 5 seconds. Click the words "not secure" in the address bar, then certificate details, and look at the validity dates. And here's the uncomfortable part. If it's theirs, there is nothing for you to fix. Don't click through. Wait for them to renew it, and if it's your bank or something that matters, ring them. An expired certificate on a site that handles money is a reason to be more careful, not less. Cause 3, and this is the one that catches people who have already fixed their clock. Something is sitting between you and the internet. If you've already checked your clock, it's right, and you're still getting this, especially on lots of sites, especially with that authority invalid code, Then look here. First, security software. Several antivirus products inspect encrypted traffic, and to do that they have to sit in the middle and re-sign every certificate. Look in its settings for HTTPS scanning, SSL scanning, or encrypted connection scanning, and turn just that feature off to test. If the errors stop, you found it. Second, a work or school network. Corporate proxies do exactly the same thing, deliberately. If that's your situation, this isn't a fault and it isn't yours to remove. It's how the network is built, and their IT team already knows. Third, hotel and airport Wi-Fi. You haven't signed in yet, so the network is intercepting everything to show you its sign-in page, and on an HTTPS site that looks exactly like an attack. Open any plain HTTP page and the sign-in screen usually appears. If one of those three turned out to be yours, I'd genuinely like to know which. Drop it in the comments, because I suspect the split is nothing like what people assume. And if there's something else on your machine you'd like taken apart like this, tell me, now, that link at the bottom. Proceed anyway. It's one of the most searched things about this error, so let's be straight about it. It doesn't fix anything. It tells your browser to stop checking who's on the other end and connect regardless. I'll do it here, on a test site that's deliberately broken and has nothing to steal. And look, the page loads, and the address bar still says not secure with the HTTPS crossed out. That's not cosmetic. It means the browser genuinely doesn't know who you're talking to anymore. So, on a test site, or a printer on your own network, fine. On anything where you'll type a password or a card number, that is the exact situation the warning exists for. Don't. And it's worth knowing what that warning is actually protecting you from, because it changes how seriously you take it. If someone really is sitting in the middle of your connection, they don't just see which site you visited. They see everything you send to it, in plain text, as you type it, and they can change what comes back to you. That's the difference between this warning and the ones you genuinely can ignore. One quick note if you're on Edge. Everything here applies. The wording is very slightly different. Edge says your connection isn't private where Chrome says is not, and the codes are identical, because underneath it's the same engine. And for things it isn't. It isn't a virus on its own. It isn't something you broke. It isn't fixed by reinstalling the browser, because this check isn't the browser's opinion. It's arithmetic against dates and signatures. And clearing your cookies won't touch it, so the whole thing in one breath. Read the code, check whether it's one site or all sites, then click Advanced and let Chrome tell you what it thinks your clock says. Clock wrong. Fix the clock. Their certificate expired. Wait for them. Every site failing with an authority error. Look at what's intercepting you. If that turned a scary red screen into something you understand, subscribing genuinely helps me keep making these. Thanks for watching.